Hi, I'm Evie Kimsing, editor of IdentityWeek.net. I'm joined today by the winners of our startup pitching competition at the recent Identity Week America in Washington, D.C. It's really great now to be joined by Abai Abdullah, who's the co-founder of Charisma Check. It's great to meet you today.
Thank you so much, Avi. Nice to meet you too. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so pleased that you won this competition. It's a fast kind of becoming a huge part of the event to position startups and into a place of growth, really. And I was really pleased to do this with the winners of last year's competition. How did you find the event, first of all? And, has it boosted your activities at the moment?
Yeah, event was amazing. I wanted to thank you and again and Liv for the great opportunity, of course. And it was a massive exposure for our startup. We had great feedback and basically great growth since the event. And we wanted to thank the judges for trusting us. That's a huge validation of our idea. And we're looking forward to next year's Identity Week, actually.
And in terms of if someone didn't see your presentation at the event, how would you describe obviously your solution and how are you different from the competition that's supplying traditional background check services?
Of course. So to start with, Charisma Check is a non-FCRA criminal background check platform. So what that means is we cannot be used for employment, tenant screening, insurance purposes, and so forth. Um, the way we're different, we merge the ID verification with the criminal background check in one product, and basically we give users the ownership of that product. So the traditional background check companies or platforms out there that are non-FCRA, users would go sign up, search other users without their consent, and get their criminal history, and that would be non-ID verified. So we flipped the model with Charisma Check, where users go on our platform, take a picture of an ID, do a liveness scan or selfie check, and then we extract the information from the ID and basically provide the criminal background check in a form of a report or a card that can be easily shared with other people without having to share personal details like first, last name, date of birth. So you only share the important information, just like your first name and criminal history. And you can turn it off anytime you want.
Could you share any successful use cases or feedback from your users who have benefited from your service? I think this is a really good way of kind of understanding where you are on the market at the moment.
Yeah, that's a great question. I guess one of our favorite stories was a friend of ours, actually, and a user of our platform. Let's call her Riley. Her name is not Riley, but regardless, she met a guy on one of the dating apps, and guy seemed great, funny, charming, and she was a little cautious. So one night, she remembered that she's using the platform, and basically asked him, "Hey, can you check your charisma?" Or basically show me your charisma, share it with us, so, or with her, basically. And he sent her the verified charisma report through the messaging. So first of all, he just sent her the report, which included his first name, and that way she knew that he is a real person and he's clean in terms of his background, criminal background check information. And basically, that increased her comfort level instantly from 60% to 100%. Of course, they went on a date, they had fun, they're not together anymore, but basically for a different reason. But what's cool about this is it wasn't just about safety, it was about confidence. So, and also, so that person showed that he's confident about sharing his information and also empowered her, so she felt really empowered about basically asking for a proof that he is real and he doesn't have any criminal history and did not have any awkwardness. So she's using a platform and sharing a link, as simple as that. So it was a great turning point for her.
And it's so important, on these sites, dating apps, social media, to have this verification. And you've combined that with the criminal background checks and having the accurate data on the individual. Um, where does the assurance of the user's trustworthiness come from, in addition to confirming their identity? We always talk about trust.
That's a great question. So, like you mentioned, dating apps right now or, other platforms, they do ID verification only. And ID verification does not reflect the person's behavior. So that person could have a huge criminal history and their ID verified, but it doesn't mean that they're not criminals. So basically, when we combine both, that increases the trustworthiness. And again, trustworthiness comes from two things: you're verified, a verified fact, and basically the transparent ownership of that fact. So we combine the ID verification with criminal background check to make that product that basically gives you that position in any situation where you could be meeting strangers, whether it's, peer-to-peer interactions, dating apps, ride shares as a rider. So you're showing who you are and you're showing that you're safe without having to disclose a lot of information about yourself. And we're really proud to say that we're actually we have a patent pending because we're the only product in the market that is doing what we're currently doing.
That's fantastic to hear. I can see why you've done so well in the pitch where there's loads of companies, so many different solutions tackling different markets. But what are the key challenges for you facing, as you scale up your services? How are you addressing these challenges?
That's a great question. So there are several challenges, of course, but I guess the biggest challenge is education. So a lot of users think that, okay, well, they're going to scan their ID, it's going to go somewhere in the cloud, and people are going to be looking at it. We're using high-end technology. We're currently verifying our IDs with Stripe, or our users with Stripe. They have ID verification, basically product, and we're expanding into other ID verification that use high tech industry standards to basically not leak this information. That's number one. Number two is we do not save that information with us. So typically, we do not have no IDs, no date of birth or anything like that. So it's all with the partner that we're working with. So that basically puts us in a position that is, increases the confidence for our users to use our platform. So the education is a major part where users get scared about this ID verification part. But at the same time, once they see how seamless it is and how instant it is, they get a lot more comfortable. This is what we've seen with our users, basically.
It's really interesting and fascinating to hear from you. I'm really looking forward to your, participation possibly next year as well. Um, how would you just summarize for our viewers the impact of your solution when there's so many crowded solutions in the market?
So basically, I do think our solution is it, it will happen very soon, especially with the AI, that most of the platforms are going to be requiring users to not only do ID verification, but also do a criminal background check. Of course, with the relevance of, dating or some gig economy. And so we see an extremely scalable product here, and we see a huge competition coming up very soon, as a matter of fact.
Fabulous. It's been great speaking to you today.
Thank you.